Today, we learned 22 deaths at a facility in Greeley. Most were residents who tested positive for COVID-19. More there are still being treated for this virus. Now, there are also outbreaks at facilities in Denver and Aurora. 9 Wants to Know investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola looks at the recent health records of those facilities.
The average age of a Colorado nursing home resident is 85 years old. Add that to the fact these places are full with people with underlying health problems and who live in close proximity. It's a perfect combination for the pandemic to hit hard.
They are. I mean, this is a virus that disproportionately affects people who are older and people who have comorbidities. And so it's a really tough population to keep safe. But we are committed to doing everything we can to do so.
At the Cherry Creek Nursing Center in Aurora, there have been 19 deaths, 11 of them confirmed COVID-19, according to the state. Documents reviewed by 9 Wants to Know show the state cited the facility twice last year, before COVID-19 came to Colorado. One for bad hand washing when a nurse did not perform hand hygiene. Another citation for failing to clean bathrooms properly to maintain a sanitary environment. The state found the problems were fixed in follow-up visits. At Juniper Village in Aurora, about 70% of the people here, including staff and residents, have tested positive for COVID-19. The facility has reported 8 deaths. Earlier this month, state inspectors visited Juniper after someone filed a formal complaint regarding the facility's infection prevention practices. The state says it's working with the facility with infection prevention and use of PPEs. That complaint is still under investigation.
The state does have a role. We have a healthcare acquired infection task force. Every time that we have an outbreak, we send resources to support those facilities the best that we can. These are just really, really difficult things to stop once they start.
Governor Gov Polis restricted non-essential visits to nursing homes in mid-March. They're also being asked to follow new guidelines like screening people for fever. We asked the governor if he believes the state is watching nursing homes enough as they follow new, tighter rules.
We don't have specific information that they were not following rules or violating the guidance, but we do want to up the bar on making sure that they are following the guidance and that they are limiting visitation, that they are checking the staff as they come to work for temperatures and symptoms. We expect to work with them to expand testing at those facilities.
Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
A spokesperson for Cherry Creek Nursing pointed out that their violations happened before COVID-19 came to Colorado. So far, we haven't heard from the company that owns Juniper Village.